Look at that teeny tiny chain wheel. Teeny tiny chain wheel on a big tire bike. Bike blogger here. I'm just looking at some other bikes that I'm considering a new frame. Well, I'm building up a bike actually. So I'm building a bicycle that I intend to use mainly just for ice, like an ice bike with studded tires. So I don't have to swap wheel sets, but I just want to get a frame. I'm not going to get an actual full-on complete bicycle. So I'm just looking to see what my options are. I like Surly. Surly seems to make very versatile steel frames with kind of a classic geometry with that straight top tube on some of their bicycles at least. So really, number one thing I'm looking at right now though, because I do want to go single speed, is looking at the dropout down here. I want to make sure it's got either a semi-horizontal sliding dropout or fork ends, where some people mistakenly call it a horizontal dropout, but basically a dropout just goes straight back for tensioning the chain on a single speed. So this is a Surly Midnight Special. I'm also looking for a bicycle that can fit wider tires. So yeah, this bike won't work because this does not have the type of frame dropout down here that I want. So let's close that out. Okay, so this is the Surly Steamroller. It's a fairly popular single speed frame. I like the purple. I don't know why. I just feel like purple might go with winter time. I don't know. Looks kind of nice though. I like the white and the purple. So that's what I was talking about. Fork ends. Those are fork ends down there. Yeah, Surly always says fatties fit fine. So fitting wide tires. So another thing I gotta watch for though is what kind of brakes does this take. It looks like it takes rim brakes. Doesn't look like it has an option for disc brakes. I think I am looking for a frame that can take disc and rim brakes. I probably will use rim brakes though. So this frame is probably out as well. Also wheel size, I prefer 700C versus 26 or something, because I just feel like they're probably more options for smooth tread tires in a road size wheel than in a mountain bike size wheel, like a 26 or a 27.5 or a 29er. Although a 29er is the same thing as a 700C. Really all you need to watch for there is your rim width. You want your rim width to probably be no narrower than, and don't let it be less than half the width of your tire, otherwise you get kind of a weird profile going on your tire. I'll talk about that in a future video. So let's see. Rim caliper brakes on this one. What else? What about wheel size? Frame construction, chromoly. That's pretty standard from Surly. Hub is also important to me. This is a 120 millimeter hub. I actually want to use road hubs, which are 130 millimeter. You can spread the quote unquote rear forks on a bike. You can spread these dropouts here on a steel frame to like, I could spread it to like 130 millimeters. So that'd be like 5 millimeters on each side. But why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just buy the right frame if I'm buying a brand new frame? It says tire clearance here. Without fenders, it can do 38 millimeter. With fenders, 32. So also the tire clearance is not really what I want. I want more like 40 millimeter of tire clearance, preferably almost with fenders, like my Surly Crosstrek I got, really. Seat post 27.2. I do prefer that because all my seat posts I own are 27.2. A lot of my bars, my handlebars, are 26 for the clamp diameter, but it seems like a lot of bikes that are spec'd have stems that have a clamp diameter of 31.8 or whatever. So anyway, this one's out. Let's see what else we got. Straggler. Let's see what we got down here. Looks like the semi-horizontal dropouts there, maybe, like the cross-check. This is a disc brake bike. I don't know. Can it do rim brakes though? See, the Surly cross-check, it can't do rim brakes. Or it does do rim brakes. It can't do discs. So I'm kind of wondering with Surly, when the new cross-check comes out, I guess the 2020 cross-check. I don't think this is the 2020. I could be wrong. Maybe this is the 2020 cross-check. I'm kind of wondering with the cross-check if they're going to go to disc brakes or have at least an option for disc brakes, like put mounts on here at least, but still spec it with rim brakes. Because, you know, when the cross-check came out, and this is another thing, the cross-check, I think 2020 is the 20th anniversary of the cross-check. So this bike has been around for a long time. And it hasn't really changed a whole lot, which I really appreciate that because, you know, I like things, you know, if I like it, I don't want it to change because if I ever have to buy it again, I like it to be the exact same thing, you know, I had before. But I think the Surly Crosscheck has always had these bosses on here for down tube shifters. It's always had the semi-horizontal dropouts and cantilever or rim brakes there, usually spec'd with V brakes. See, the thing is also when it came out, there used to be more options, I think, for the shift levers. So this was actually spec'd with road bars, but nowadays it's only spec'd with these flat bars, I've noticed, at least in the last couple years, because manufacturers are just moving away from making cantilever rim brakes, I guess, cantilever brakes, or V brakes even, really. They're just kind of all moving toward disc brakes. So, and the cable pull, you know, it needs to be, I think, a long cable pull. So you can still get, I think, Tektro, whatever you call it, brake levers or shifters. Cane Creek, I think, also makes some for road bars. But in other words, the parts that are out there, I guess it's just harder for Surly to get a hold of them, or they maybe had a disagreement with their supplier. But yeah, that's the thing about the cross-check. Let's see, so going back to the straggler, disc brakes. Yeah, I don't think this is what I want. I must say, I give it to Surly. They have a nice website. Some websites are just, I don't know. This is really easy to get around and look at stuff. I do like that you can just buy the frames from Surly instead of having to buy the whole bike when you don't really want the whole bike. You just want the frame. Huh. Well, see, they got disc brakes you can mount on here. Looks like they're mounted on this tube here instead of on the seat tube instead of the chain stay tube or whatever you call it. Anyway, let's see. Frame spec. Forward exiting horizontal dropout. Rear brakes. What's the okay, 135 is the spacing for the back, so you know, for a road wheel is 130, traditionally 130 millimeter wide these days, but you could bend it back, I guess. See, the cross-check is 132.5, so either works, but I use the road type. I mean, we're talking millimeters, which is a lot in the bicycle world. But the 132 millimeter works just fine on the cross-check. So straggler, I'm not really feeling it. Let's go to low side, single speed mountain bike. Yeah, so this just looks cool, even though this isn't what I really what I'm looking for. Yeah, I always find it funny when you see these mountain bikes with the big wheels or big tires and then little teeny tiny chain ring. I just find that kind of funny sometimes. So yeah. Neat idea. I would like to get back into mountain biking sometime, but you know, my expertise, I guess, or whatever, is road. It looks like it's was this through bolt dropout or whatever. I've never had a frame with that. I don't know if it's really that much better than, I guess maybe it helps you align the disc brakes more easily than the quick release type, because a lot of bike frames are now going to the through bolt axles. Let me know in the comment section below if you have a bike with through bolt axles and what you think about it. You know, if you've owned a bike in the past that was quick release, do you have a preference? I mean, if you know how to use a quick release, which is pretty simple, I think. I don't see what's really wrong with quick release. Troll. So yeah, this is a disc brake. I need to read probably these descriptions a little bit further to see, because some of these are very versatile frames. So a lot of these you may be able to do rim brake and disc brake on them both. It's just, you know, it's a shame that most people aren't doing, or the manufacturers aren't making bikes with rim brake. Well, here you go. Look, those are the cantilever posts there. So yeah, you can mount cantilever brakes on this frame. My gosh, look at this frame. What is this? This is the Troll. Yeah, horizontal dropouts or fork ends, whatever you want to call them. And it's got disc brake mounts here, and it's got a, look at all these. Oh my gosh, look at all these water bottle cage. Looks like at least one underneath the down tube, and then two inside the frame there. External routing of cables. Thank you so much. I do not like internal cable routing. And you buy the right tool, and it's not a nightmare. You know, get a magnet or whatever, and you can do it with the Park Tool IR2, I think it's called, or IR 1.2 or whatever. But wow, yeah, look at all these mounts. This is probably a pretty heavy frame, but very versatile. So this is almost probably exactly what I'm looking for, except this is probably meant for mountain bike wheels. Let's see, spec, geo, frame, hub spacing. Yeah, this is a 145 millimeter wide. Yeah, I'm not very familiar with the mountain biking world, but this must be for mountain biking wheels and hubs. So this wouldn't really be what I'd be looking for. I do appreciate Surly mentions his tire clearance on their frame. This is 3 inches with a 26 tire. I do also appreciate that there's people out there still making frames that take 26-inch wheels, because you know they seem to be pretty popular still around the world. All right, so what's he? Ogre all-season commuter bike. That sounds like me. Horizontal dropout. It's got disc brakes. Let's just go look at the frame rather than read it. I just look at the frame. Does it have the posts? Are those cantilever posts there? Maybe for rim brakes. This might take rim brakes. But anyways, you get the idea. I'm looking for basically a bike frame that can take disc brake or rim brake in case I want to, you know, swap. Most people, you know, they pick one or the other and they don't swap. So it'd just be nice to have the option, I think. This is a lot of water bottle mounts again underneath. I wouldn't really ever want to put my water bottle underneath there, but hey, you know, if you need 3 of them and you don't have a place to fill up somewhere, it's really appreciated to have those extra water bottle mounts on the bike. Let's yeah, that's what it looks like. Where's the spec? Oh, here we go. This is also 145, so this is also like a mountain bike wheels. So, see, Ogre, that's under touring. So yeah, I don't know. Some of these, all the pavement bikes, I think, are meant for road wheels. They also have like the ice cream truck. Yeah, this takes 5-inch wide tires and 100 millimeter wide rims. It's huge. But then, like I said before, look at that teeny tiny chain wheel. Teeny tiny chain wheel on a big tire bike. ECR, off-road bike packing bike. Again, a lot of these bikes, I'm surprised they have the horizontal dropouts or fork ends. And a teeny tiny chain ring. Look at a little pretty teeny tiny chain ring. Yeah, disc brakes. Everybody's going to disc brakes. It's crazy. I mean, I was probably riding what was it, the Honjo Comp I rode years past, had disc brakes, and it was like a gravel bike before they called them gravel bikes, I think. They called it an adventure bike or something. So wheel size 27.5 or 29. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if that means you can do both or there's two different frames. No, yeah, it looks like two different frames. The 29 it might be just for, yeah, the larger sizes. The 27.5 is for, yeah, smaller sizes. But look, they have medium for 29 and they have medium for 27.5. So I don't know if those are two different frames or not. Spec, let's see the spec. Frame spec. 145. Yeah, a lot of these 145s. Oh, okay, but you can do 135 with an adapter. So that's nice. Well, I'm sure many of them you can do that. And look at all this tire clearance information. That's really nice. I wish more manufacturers did that sort of stuff. Of course, it's just a guide. It depends on your rim width, what your tire gets blown up to in terms of its profile, and then, what it needs to clear. I find generally the problem mostly is in the back with tire clearance, and it deals with the brake. So if you have disc brakes, I guess that's the one positive, disc brakes, less chance of having problems with tire clearance than you would with rim brakes. So, yeah, just looking at different Surly bikes right now. But will I go with a Surly frame? Maybe not. They're kind of pricey, but they do look nice. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching. Woo!